Hello everybody, this is Jeffrey GT7 and welcome to the episode. In this episode, we got ourselves quite a unique request build using the Group 3 Ferrari 458 Italia at the Red Bull Spielberg Challenge. In this episode, I'm going to show you guys a quick guide of how to get a gold medal in the 1 hour Red Bull Ring Challenge. Now, this car right here is optional to you guys. If you want to use a different car, that's totally fine. Matter of fact, later in the episode, I'll show you guys what the top 10 stars in that track used, just in case if you want a better reference point than the Ferrari. But I promise this will be a quick, simple guide for this challenge. So without any further ado, let us go ahead and get straight into the episode. So if you guys are curious on how to get this Ferrari 458 Italia Group 3, you can find this car at Brand Central, or you can just randomly win it in the minigame. But here it is right here, and this car looks really good despite being over a decade old. Pretty decently good stats, and the Ferrari itself actually is a pretty decently good car, especially at the Red Bull Ring. So after you choose this car, or you choose whatever car you want to choose, here's the build I have for this current car. Now the good thing about this challenge is you can actually choose your tire compound. So in this race, I'm going to be mainly being on the softs. One thing you need to know is you need to get a set of wets or inters just in case you do have a rain shower come to your direction. But if you're curious on what the top 10 stars used, here's all the cars that they all used if you want to use it for a reference point. And just in case if the Ferrari does not pretty much fit your driving style, then here are some other cars that you could try out and use and see if they can help you out to get that gold medal in this 1 hour challenge. But to give you a quick look of the car as we get started with this race, I believe we started this race either in last place or 15th. I can't remember right off, but you can see the car feels really good. I think most of the back markers, the AI drivers, I think most of them are either on mediums or hards. I do know there is one particular BMW AI driver that's on softs, but everyone else is either on mediums or hards. So you should really be able to gain a lot of time on the AI, especially in the corners. That's going to be pretty much your best friend, especially this one right here. For some reason, this particular set of corners was really when I was able to gain a lot of time on both the race leader and on the opponents as well. I mean, the car just felt really smooth, very good. You just gotta be a little bit careful not to go too far over the track boundaries, or else you will pick up a half-second or second penalty depending on how much you badly cut that corner, which could be a little bit annoying at some times. But as you can see, as we complete the first lap, we actually went up to the top 5, which actually is a pretty cool achievement in my opinion. Being able to start that deep in the field and just being able to really get up toward the front. And I could tell that this challenge itself is not really as difficult per se compared to Lake Majaro. And I think the reason is because you can choose whatever compounds you want. If you just want to start off with softs and just go all at it, then you can, while the rest of the other competitors are on a 1 or 2 compounds harder tires than what you are currently on. And this car might not be as quick on the straight lines as per se a BMW or the Mercedes-Benz AMG, which are 2 great picks as well in this challenge. But the handling, really smooth handling. Maybe a teensy bit of oversteer from the car, depending if you do get back on the gas a bit earlier. But other than that, the car was just really fantastic. As you can see, as we're about to wrap up lap 2, we're catching the Honda NSX right in front of us, Gallo, in that Castrol livery. There it is right there. And if you have a really good rhythm and you know the track very well, which I'm pretty sure most of you do if you have either seen F1 or played the F1 games, I'm pretty sure that this track will be no problem whatsoever for you guys that actually have some time experience with the F1 cars around this track. But you can see as we finish up this lap 2, we're going to take a huge good corner compared to the Honda and get ourselves P2 at the end of lap 2. And then later in the race, about a couple laps later, were able to catch with the leader, which was the Mercedes-Benz AMG and we were able to not only catch the leader, but we were able to successfully pass them as well. So let's fast forward to later in the race, lap 5. We've actually in our favorite sector for this car, and I could just tell this car really loved this particular corner. It just seemed really dialed in and just felt really good as we hit purple in this corner right there. You can see we're right literally behind the rear bumper. We're gonna make a little bit of a juke right here. We're gonna be side by side leading to this corner, and this actually is pretty intensifying pretty quickly, but we do have the preferred racing line, plus we got soft tires, so we're able to make the move stick very easily, and from that point on we're going to pretty much drop it in gear and just run away from it from the rest of the race. Now let's go ahead and fast forward to our first legitimate pit stop. As you can see, we actually went a bit wide in that last lap, taking a small penalty, but it didn't really hurt us at all. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves our first pit stop done for the day, and we're going to come to pit road. And surprisingly, this car actually does very well on fuel. We can go about 11 laps on fuel. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves another new set of soft tires. Now, if you're curious on what the Mercedes-Benz, which is going to be your closest competition, what they're going to do in this pit scenario, no need to worry, because you'll see later in this pit sequence, you'll see them come pit road as well. So you're going to be pretty much being together at the same time. It just depends on how much fuel load they burn off, and it depends if it is sunny or rainy. You can see there they are right there in pit road, so you should be able to be in the same sequence as they are when it comes to just ordinary point A to point B traveling for pit stops. And you can see that he does have mediums for his tire cup out, so that's why I recommend doing softs. That way you have a little bit better grip than the Mercedes-Benz. Fast forward to lap 17, we got ourselves quite a very impressive rainstorm headed our way. As you can see, we got ourselves a dark shade of blue heading to our direction. So right as we're about to finish up lap number 18, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a new set of tires, and these are going to be wets tires, because with that rain coming through, it's going to be pretty important to make sure you're on wets. Otherwise you're going to find yourself in a really bad scenario. Being on slick tires on a wet track never does really pay off. So you can see here comes the heavier part of rain. You can see we got ourselves quite a very impressive line, that dark blue shade on that long bar. So we're going to go ahead and make a move on the BMW if we can. Thankfully we were able to come pit road before the BMW did. Going to go ahead and, just like we did in that first pit stop, we're going to go ahead and refill the car up with fuel. And since we know we got ourselves quite an impressive rainstorm in our direction, I first thought about inters, but then I got to thinking, in the long haul, this is a small track after all, and the track will get pretty damp pretty quick for it to be such a small track. Plus the rain itself is a bit heavier than your average drizzle rain that you'll sometimes get in Spa. So go ahead, get our fresh wet tires on the car. Going to go ahead and refill our car up to 100%, and then begin our third stint of the race. And as you can see, we got ourselves quite an impressive lead, so no need to worry about with the Mercedes-Benz or anybody else at that matter taking the lead away from us. So as we survive during the rain part of the race, we actually do get through the rain pretty quickly. Lap 26 is going to be our magic lap to pit and come back in and get some slicks back on the car. Now this is a risk versus reward kind of deal, because if your tire, the dry tire, does manage to touch the slightest margin of dampness on the racetrack, then your car will be pretty much in a very bad scenario where you won't have any grip and the car basically goes straight toward the wall, or it goes straight to the grass or whatever. But for us, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves another soft racing tire compound and refill the car up with fuel, and this should theoretically be our last pit stop for the race, which is a great thing. And throughout this whole entire race, we've basically been spot on, and the car has been just really good, very smooth to drive, really good handling as well. As you can see, we actually were able to put a couple of the front runners a lap down as well. As you can see, the guy in fourth place who's behind us is coming in to his new set of possibly slicks or wets. And just be careful when you come out pit road, because it is still going to be wet, so just make sure you get back on the throttle smoothly and you should be good to go. So as we fast forward to about the very end part of the race, we went ahead and we're going to move our map to number 6. That way we can get extreme fuel saving, and we're going to go ahead and do some early shifting as well. That way we can eliminate some of the RPMs and try to stretch out that fuel. Now the main reason I'm doing this is not because I do not want to go make another pit stop, even though that would be a bit annoying. But the main thing is try to see how far can I go and to see if we are able to get to the top 10 of the list. Now, thankfully this strategy didn't work. We actually did ran a bit slow in this lap to 37 to 38. We actually did have enough fuel to actually finish off the race. But in doing that, we unfortunately did not able to get into the top 10 list, which, you know, in my opinion, it's not too bad. I mean, we're not too far off from that general idea of what to do in this race. There have been a couple of things I could have changed. Maybe just save some fuel, possibly go a little bit further in one particular run, possibly. Or it could be because of the race pace not being as quick as the main top 10 drivers. But here we are, crossing lap 38. We actually do have exactly 1 lap of fuel remaining on the car. We'll go ahead and drop our fuel map to number 3, and then once I do know for sure that we are in good shape to finish off the race on either fuel map 2 or map 1, I'll then be able to switch to that mode, and that's going to be it. So pretty all a very simple, easy challenge, much compared to the like Majari challenge, where you have to start on either hards or mediums and just have to be right on execution to make sure you do everything right. Now that does go to play in this race too, but since you do have the choice of what tire to be at, then it really does help out a good bit. And once you do get to slicks from that rain stint, I would say just be careful, because the track's still will be a little bit on the damp side still, and you really do not want to find yourself either spinning out or in the grass or anything like that, because it's going to really kill your run if you do that. Now the surprising thing is the AI for the Mercedes-Benz, and I believe it was for the Honda, but they actually went a good solid 3, 4, 5 laps extra than when I made my pit stop. I mean, they literally were kept on the wets. Even with the track being mainly dry, they were still using wets, which kind of really blew me away. But as we get this race complete, a very successful challenge complete in the books, as we were able to get a new record of 38 laps and just easily blew up the old previous record of 36 laps. So hopefully that challenge will help you out in the Rebel Ring. And here's a quick preview of my next episode. It's going to be the Ferrari F40. It's back in the game, so I figured why not go ahead and just do a new build. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode today, and if you did, why not go ahead and leave a like. If you guys would like to see some of my content later down the road, why not go ahead and subscribe as well, which would be highly appreciated.
Nice.
And hopefully you guys have a great rest of the day or night. Turn about me, and I'll see you guys later, and take care.